If I told you that Gradey Dick wasn't necessarily going to be a sniper from downtown, but rather an overall offensive weapon, would you have been surprised or skeptical? It's not as if his foot speed and vertical pop suggest he should be a dominant driver, but what he does have is a hunger for the rim, truly, and an awesome, irrational confidence that he can finish there, and that fuels his repeated forays into the paint. And additionally, those forays, you could argue they are the best in his draft class so far. Before we get into the rest of the video, just remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. It helps us achieve our New Year's goal of 12,000 subscribers. Supports everybody here. Thank you so much. Back to it. Gradey is currently top 6 in points off of drives per game from sophomores, and when you account for his foul frequency, accuracy from the free throw line, and the fact that he takes so many shots and makes so many shots on drives, he is the most efficient scorer of the bunch. In that group of players, yes, he's 5th in assists per drive. He's not passing a ton, and in fact, his pass frequency is comparable to prime Kyrie Irving, which is hilarious and awesome, but he is also the least likely to turn the ball over, and by some margin. And here's the thing, Gradey is shooting 43% on his spot-up threes, which is pretty damn good. However, it's still statistically better for him to drive those closeouts. You know why? His true shooting percentage when he drives closeouts is 75%. That is an insane number. The main reason for all of this, of course, despite Gradey shooting below league average from downtown, shooting gravity isn't always about percentages, and Gradey is selling the NBA on a vision of him as a truly elite shooter that they have to run off the line at any cost. And the usual cost is a long closeout that leaves the seas parted behind the defender, and Gradey fancies himself as Moses sprinting into the emerging path. We'll revisit some of Gradey's irrational confidence, but first let's touch on some of the finesse and savvy, much of which comes from his rather elite triple threat package. When it comes to the stutter rip, Jimmy Butler has been probably the greatest player I've seen to this point, and he's actually fueled finals runs with that as his go-to move. And while Gradey won't ever be that level of stutter ripper, he might actually be one of the better players with it during his career, and especially when you consider how lethal his right baseline pull-up is. It's not just the stutter rip either, as you always have to have something to play off of, but his rocker step is also pretty fantastic. Gradey can of course shift fantastic defenders like Derek White 4 feet sideways with a jab before settling into these midi pulls. It's finesse, it's savvy. And he did the same thing to another elite defender, Chris Dunn, off of a simple screen plus catch into space. Only this time he didn't stop short with a pull-up. He stepped through a dig for a finger roll at the rim. And shortly after that, Norm Powell tries to counter Gradey with a short closeout, and he just launches a 3 over the top of him. The audacity of Gradey is the easiest part of his game to highlight, spinning off of Amen Thompson and finger rolling like George Gervin to the rim. Of course, running the Raptors' favorite baseline out of bounds play and throwing up this crazy flip over the top of Evan Mobley. Of course, you can see here he drove a closeout against Josh Giddey, got walled off, and spun off of it into a shot where he hung in the air and changed hands to make a banked-in push shot with his left over a rotating Nikola Vucevic. He slithered around a screen and pump faked to outfox Jaden McDaniels and launched a skyscraping floater over Rudy Gobert. He throws himself repeatedly at the rim, at bodies, and asks his own to be more languid and flexible than everyone else's as he bends and twists his way to improbable scoop shots. He's extremely unique. At some point, NBA teams will send more help Gradey's way on drives. It'll start with rudimentary rotations that are easy to pass around. You know, a man steps up into the lane, but Gradey can pass around that. He's shown he can do that since college, and he actually did really well in those drills pre-draft with the Raptors and other teams. As Gradey launches up the scouting report, rotations will become more complex, of course. But almost 2 months ago, Darko highlighted Gradey's passing as the most underrated aspect of his game. And we will get to see if that manifests at some point. For now, Gradey is 3rd in points per game among sophomores. He trails only Victor Wembanyama and Brandon Miller. Those are the top 2 picks, by the way, and only 3 players drafted above Gradey have a higher true shooting percentage than him. He has taken on a lot of shots, and arguably the most difficult ones in the vacuum of the Raptors' offense. There's still a lot that has to develop and improve with his own offense, but so far, Gradey has been the little 13th pick that could, jumping past those drafted ahead of him because of opportunity and maintaining that lead because of performance, which is led, surprisingly, by his driving game. Anyway, that's all. Hope you enjoyed the little video essay. I always like doing these. This is also taken from a piece I wrote earlier. If you want to get this stuff earlier, just go to raptorsrepublic.com. It's the best written work covering the Raptors. I swear by it. We have a ton of great writers over there. We're very proud of what we do. So if you want to go over to the website, feel free. If you just want to hang out on the YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that great stuff. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you.